Hello. For those of you who might get drunk and accidentally stumble across my channel by accident, uh, I'm just starting into this, so I'm not expecting much out of this at all. This is just a place for me to basically look for an alternative as well as be able to ensure that there's some discussion that does take place. Uh, I don't have much of an online presence, if at all. I do have a Discord's server channel thingy. I'm not exactly the most techno savvy person on the planet, so you have to bear with me if you're actually interested in the things that I have to say. Uh, I don't do much outside of my work, and due to my upbringing, I probably have a different perspective than most people have. Um, One thing you'll find right away is I tend to use Canadian based colloquialisms because I am Canadian, and I tend to be very precise when I'm speaking most of the time, but not always. Uh, Interruptions will probably be common, just simply because of how my family life is, and don't expect regular uploads if you expect any at all from me, just because of what schedule permits. I do work for a living in multiple areas, but mostly as a tradesman, as a pipe fitter, steam fitter, and as a result, I tend to keep busy. I do have hobbies. They're not much, and I'm also not much in the video gaming thing, but that doesn't mean I don't do it. I prefer mostly management games, some RTS games, but mostly management games. Civilization, RimWorld, and just to name a few. If I ever figure out how to do the Let's Play stuff with what do you call it, filming it, putting it on my channel, you'll see that as well. Um, Other than that, not much to say really. Uh, any discussion I might do will mostly just be me ranting about things or simply asking philosophical questions in one form or another. I will read comments if they are posted. I don't expect much in the way of actual traction with my channel. I don't plan on turning it into a business. So as a result, I don't really care about the business end of YouTube. If it turns out to be successful, okay, fine, but that's not really why I'm doing this. I'm just frankly confused most of the time, and frankly, with the way the world is nowadays, everything's getting way too. It's like people are losing their minds over every little thing, making mountains out of molehills. And I never understood that. You also see a lot of comparisons instead of apples to pineapples, which doesn't do anyone any good, and it turns into outrage that really doesn't need to be outrage. Uh, I do not intend this channel to be political in any way. That does not mean that political things will not be talked about, but a lot of it will be Canadian politics, or mostly Alberta politics, because I come from Alberta, Canada. Um, for those of you who actually know where that is, you'll understand why I might gripe about it on occasion. Despite my boyishly good looks, I am not a young person, and as a result, I will often come at things from a very different perspective than young people. Uh, I also tend to look at long term, not short term. And even though I doubt I'm right most of the time, the things I talk about are based on the perspectives that I see. Therefore, they're nothing more than observations, with maybe some facts mixed in, and that's about it. I do not go and check Google every fucking day. I am one of those old fashioned ink, paper, you know, reading articles kind of guy. I still remember when National Geographic used to be a decent magazine, for crying out loud. If my audio or media doesn't work, I do apologize. I'm not entirely sure about the quality of my equipment, and frankly, I'm only working off a laptop, so don't expect high end visual representation anytime soon. Um, like I said, I do have a real job. This isn't it. So a lot of what I'm doing is just a lot of what I'll be talking about or doing will be mainly, just me asking in hypotheticals or asking about details or confirmation, hoping to get an answer. Um, I can be philosophical in nature, but considering how the way things are, I highly doubt that's going to get a very good response. I don't mind stirring the pot if stirring the pot is what's needed, but if you stir the pot too much, you'll spill the soup. So you have to be careful on that aspect of it. So don't hit me with a ban hammer right away. First time I'm doing this kind of shit. Sorry. Should be aware that it's basically 16A. I know that might not mean much for most Americans, but Canada, you know what that means. 1618A in terms of the context of my content. I I will, as I state, will be talking about things that just come to mind. So as a result, you're looking at a ramblings of someone just looking to understand, just asking questions out of the blue and not really expecting an answer. If an answer does come, it'll be interesting to see. Um, as a result, I will not have much of an opinion on current events unless they pertain to anything that I might actually have. And that's basically it. Consider this an introduction to my channel. God help you if you're actually listening to this. All right. See you next time.